Welcome to another episode of the Village Show with me, Chak the Sound Sangoma. This is episode 36. I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are good. I'm having a beautiful Monday. Today on the Village Show, I got a very, very nice show for you guys, on the music appreciation or the music video appreciation. I have a music video by Joey Manson, Joey Manson with the song Black or The Black. We're going to be appreciating that music video. On our topic of the week, we're going to be talking about tribal law versus constitutional law, where people are still being ruled by tribal law, and where does tribal law actually clash with constitutional law. And then, as we get through with our show on our music appreciation, today we're going to take a twist. The Metro FM Music Awards just happened. We're going to be reacting to those, and we're going to be talking about some of the nomination and some of the winners. What's the hustle? Today we're going to be talking about construction. We're going to be talking about how to, make a business in construction from different levels, small levels, medium level, and actually higher level, where you can actually start getting tenders from governments. And then on our Kasi Superhero today, we're going to be appreciating Portia Modise. She's a football superstar in South Africa, one of the best females that we've ever had in South Africa, and she broke a few records. We just want to appreciate her for what she has done and for keeping motivating young girls and everybody to show them that it's possible. And that's going to be our show for this week on the Village Show. Like I said, I'm Chak the Sound Sangoma. Thank you for joining me. Without further ado, let's get to the show. As we get to the show, like I said, we got a beautiful show today on our music video appreciation. We have a music video by Joey, Joey Manson with the song The Black. That's the video we're going to be appreciating. This is a beautiful song. If you listen to the rhymes and the flows and the punchline, this is some beautiful music. Thank you for Joey for giving us such beautiful music. Without me speaking a lot, let's get to it.
God damn, Jimmy.
Yeah, you scared away kitchen, bitch. Fuck. Way too many snakes in the grass, need a lawnmower. I can't put my trust in no nigga, come my hardcoder. How the fuck you make the right decision, boy, you never sober. No, I said it in the last song, they flip like Motorola's. I'm the villain, every song I drop, I'm making sure I kill him. You the witness, if you really listen, you know I ain't missing. How many songs will it take for niggas to realize I'm nothing like the rest of these niggas? I'm on a different high, I really meant a different level. You gotta scrutinize, give a fuck by no simp ass nigga, guess I don't sympathize. Control out deleting these niggas, I'm here to minimize the competition. Don't know what hit them, they say I'm acting different. I'm calling the shots like it's on a pot, I'm coming in hot, yeah. I cannot fuck on the top, third eye open, I'm too conscious. You see me doing a lot, when I drop, no you gon' cop it. I'ma never stop, I put green lights all on the block, yeah. Fuck.
God damn, Jimmy.
With the song The Block, beautiful song, some really, really crazy energy right there with the song, something different, this new hip-hop, subgenre of hip-hop that's coming along, and people like Joey are in the forefront of making sure that, we appreciate this genre. Like I said on our topic of the week, this week we're going to be talking about tribal law, versus constitutional law, or where does tribal law actually clash with constitutional law? Or is it tribal law still very important, to be ruling people? Are people still supposed to be under, some tribal law? As much as I know tribal law is not above constitutional law, as well, that's the national law that rules or governs everybody, but there's a lot of people who are still living in places where there's still tribes or tribal offices where they're being ruled by tribal law. For example, I'm from a village where we still have a chief, and everything that happens in the village has to go through the chief, and the chief has kind of like the final word in what happens. Of course there's government structures, but the government structures really respect these tribal laws. And sometimes we do find a clash where things are not being done the way they're supposed to be, because people are not in those positions because they are leaders. People are in those positions because people just believe that they can hold those positions, especially in tribal law, where it's not a democracy where we have to choose who becomes our chief or who becomes our advisor or the advisory of the chief. That is done by the family, but we are then given those people to be running, those communities and making sure that the communities move forward. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to come here and bash all the chiefs and bash all the tribal. That's not my intention. I'm just trying to find a bridge of where we can find a link. There is a lot of like tribes and tribal houses and chiefs, who I know from their villages who are doing really good things for their communities, who are proactive in making sure that their communities are run very, very well. As the custodian of the land, the people who are given the right to actually take care of the land and to make the rules and make some rules about the land, there is really, really some really good people who are really doing good things. But in the same time, there's other people who are just passive about it. People who are not even actually proactive with their communities and making sure that their communities are moving forward. Certain things that we actually really question and try to understand why things are done a certain way. The hierarchy or even the steps of communication to get to a point where we get things done. We have an extra step if you have a chief, kind of like ruling, the village. For example, if we need some service delivery to happen, we need to go to the chief first and actually talk to the chief. The chief has to find some means to actually talk to the ward committee. The ward committee or the ward manager, the ward committee actually goes and speaks to the councillor. The councillor has somebody that he has to speak or she has to speak to, and that somebody has somebody to speak to, and it has to get to national. And that way, those steps are a lot of steps that if you have a lot of people in that process who don't understand why people are needing certain things, it becomes so difficult for an issue to be resolved. To give you an example, right now where I'm from, people are struggling a lot with cow theft. There's people who are stealing these people's cows. How we used to raise our cows since I was young is we used to take them to a jungle, which is, again, the chief is the custodian of that land. We used to take them there. Sometimes we'll actually leave them there for 2-3 days, go and watch them. And sometimes they will actually come back home. We never had a problem with theft. But nowadays we're having a really, really big problem with theft where people are stealing large numbers, like 9 cows are going at one time. Now people have to actually go out with the cows the whole day, checking the cows in the jungle and having to bring them back. And that brings an extra step to something that was very, very lucrative to communities. It now is becoming expensive to actually have these cows, where it was close to nothing to have these cows, and people can actually make money or have an economy around all of this livestock. Right, I say that to say this. What is happening for that problem to be solved? First of all, if you really analyze this problem, there's a lot of problems embedded in one problem. One of the first problem is we have chiefs who are very, very passive, who are not taking charge of their lands and actually coming up with ways to force even the government to do certain things so that the community is actually protected. I say this because think about this. There's an old lady who has cows who she inherited maybe from her husband or from her grandfather, and she has these cows and she has to just be the custodian of the cows so she can pass it on. I'm talking about generational wealth, but it's getting to a point where this old lady can't be able to take the care of these cows because she can't pay somebody to actually be taking care of the cows, and she can't be able to go in the jungle with the cows to make sure that they're okay. You check what I mean? So where does the community come in? Where does the tribal come in? The tribal offices is supposed to be a place where we can go and actually voice out and actually come up with ideas on how to solve these problems. One of the biggest problems that's there is because of lack of policemen. I can tell you now close to 8 villages are being policed by one policeman in a satellite. One person is actually policing all of these villages. And I feel like the community is very lucky because it's not really a very, very crime high community. There is small crimes, like I'm saying, with people stealing cows. But being policed by one person in the whole community is really, really difficult. We're having all of these problems, and these problems are not actually even getting to a point where they're getting to the police. There's not cases that are open because, one person can actually be able to do this work themselves. What are tribals doing? When you go to the police and find out, they tell you, most of the community young guys are not actually applying to be policemen. That's why we have a shortage of police people in the community. And you find out that the forms are going to the tribal offices, but the tribal offices are not letting people know that there is these forms that are supposed to be happening. Or they get told things like you're supposed to actually fill the form and fill it in pencil, so that when the form gets somewhere else, somebody can actually delete that and then they can put somebody's name. You check what I mean? And that's a very, very big problem. The fact that if I'm looking for some, proof of residential or just proof of residential, I have to pay a certain amount. I have to go to somebody who can tell me they don't want to do it today or they feel tired today. They want to do it tomorrow. It's not an emergency for them to do that because they'll probably tell you, I'm not getting paid to do that. I do believe that they should be able to get paid because they're actually serving the people. It should be a job for somebody to be able to do that. But just because we're in the villages, people volunteer to do those things. And then when it comes to volunteering, they can tell you they don't want to do it right now. I don't blame them. I blame the structure. I blame how everything is being run. Those people are supposed to be paid, to be able to do that job so that they can give the people the service that they really want. There's laws that get created by the tribe, to the tribal houses that go beyond just even some human rights, so all of those things are supposed to be challenged. I am still for chiefs. I am still for custodians of land, but we have to have a rule that actually makes sure that everybody is free. We have to have a rule that it doesn't mean if I'm living in a city or I'm living in a village, I should be ruled by this fundamental rule and nothing should go above that, and my means of communication. If I go to my municipality right now and I'm asking for something, they tell me I must go to a tribal office. But if it was in the city or the CBD and I wanted the same service, there was nobody else I had to go to. I was supposed to get the service to the people I'm going to. So why do I have to have an extra step? Or if I don't have to have the extra step, why don't you empower all of these tribal houses with the same power that the municipality kind of have? I should be able to get my proof of residential from the chief like you do. You recognize if I get a stamp. There shouldn't be anything that I have to go to the municipality for if I have to do everything to the tribal. The problem becomes when these things can be done by the tribal, these things can be done with the tribal, and then now it adds an extra step in me trying to get help or trying to get whatever it is that I need. You check what I mean? So this is not a debate, or this is not to bash or to say that we can't live under tribal law or we can't live under constitutional law. I feel like constitutional law is what rules everybody in South Africa, and all of these tribal people, all of these chiefs who are custodians of this land should follow that. No land should be given to people and only just a section of people is benefiting from that. No information should be withheld. Government information that's for everybody shouldn't be withheld by the tribal office and saying that now our people don't need to know that. The tribal office shouldn't make any decisions in behalf of their people without the people actually getting involved, because that's no longer democracy. You check what I mean? Those are the things that I'm trying to voice out and let people wake up and understand that we are, the government. We respect our chiefs. We will always respect our chiefs, but it is time for us to be able to have other channels for us to be able to communicate, and constitutionally so, we have a right to have those things. Those things we can't be told now, you can't have this here. You know what I'm saying? Because the government wants us to have those things, and to have a relationship between the tribal offices and actually the government is what's going to make all of this smooth sailing and make sure that we have a good relationship and make sure that we're living, in a better country, and we have the same rights and we experience the same things as we experience, with everybody. Like, when we have a crisis of water, we still have to deal with the inner workings of ourselves until we actually get to the people who can help us, because this person doesn't want to talk to this person, or this person has a problem with this person, or this person doesn't believe this this, or these people have already said that the problem here is that. You know what I mean? We need to get to a point where we can actually streamline all of these things, still respect tribal law, but be able to upgrade tribal law so that it's in the same power as constitutional law. As most of the people know now, we do understand what is constitutional law, and we do read, and we just want to be treated that way. We want to be able to have our problems getting solved in record time. We want to be able to have a clear communication of who we speak to. We want to be able to not be stopped in the middle of actually trying to figure things out. All of these steps, the steps that are necessary needs to be taken out. The steps that are necessary should be left in the conversation. And that's just how I feel about the topic of this week, which is basically tribal law versus constitutional law. What it's like to live under tribal law. What are the chiefs doing for their communities? What is their responsibility? What are some of the things that we should hold them accountable for? You check what I mean? I do believe that most of these guys are getting paid to be custodians of these lands that they are chiefs of. You check what I mean? So it's important for us to actually be able as citizens under that rule to hold them accountable and have clear ways of holding them accountable, and get to a point where it's no longer like a monarchy where only this family is going to be able to do that. We understand that people have land, but I do believe that everybody is the custodian of land. If you give everybody a title deed in a village, they are a chief of their own land. That's what we want to get to. As much as if you can be the bigger custodians of the bigger land because maybe your great-grandfathers owned the land, it is cool for that to happen too. But everybody needs to get to a point where if you have your own piece of land or you're given your own piece of land, you are king for that acres that you have. Everything else we will have to buy, that's real estate, that's everything else. But the fairness should be that we redistribute land to everyone, not only just to the people who say their grandfathers were kings, but to everyone. You know what I mean? And that's just how my view when it comes to tribal law versus constitutional law. Right, as you can hear, it's a very, very pressing topic. I know a lot of people is going to rub them off, some other way. That's why we have the Village Show. So wherever I'm wrong, you can actually go and argue with me and bring some points to kind of like show me where I'm wrong so that I can learn from you. Remember, these are just my views and some of the things that I learn and talk to people about in the streets. And for us to be able to have an open conversation, I'm inviting you who's watching this at home, whether you're from South Africa or not even from South Africa, just to challenge you in terms of understanding that we still, in 2023, some of us living, under tribal, law, and we still have to respect tribal law. And there's certain things that as the youth or people in the next generation, we want to change, but there's certain things standing in our way, and we need to make this conversation open. Cool. That's the topic of the week. Tribal law versus constitutional law. Very, very pressing topic. As we move on to the show today, like I said, on our music appreciation, we're not going to be appreciating the music. We're going to be appreciating a lot of people. The Metro FM Music Awards just happened a couple of days back, and we have our winners, and I just wanted to react to some of these winners. I'm going to go on my phone because I can't remember all of the winners from my head, and I'm just going to react most of the time to all of these winners. So for example, category number 1, best viral challenge. I feel like a viral challenge is what people are doing on social media. If you have a dance, that things that people are doing on TikTok. The winner there, that's Deep London featuring Butle with Hamba When. I think I remember that one. Hamba When, I think that's the one. You check what I mean. And the best music video, it went to DJ Tira with Skilledy. Chaos Sete was nominated, a.k.a. Lemonade, Wanitwa Moose, Sofas Lachlan, and Costa Teach, Big Flexer. To be honest with you, I thought maybe Costa Teach will actually win that one. I feel like the music video for Big Flexer remix was actually a dope music video. But congratulations to DJ Tira on winning that one. Best Styled Artist, the nominees were Musa Keys, Mafiki Zolo. I think this is supposed to be Java, Daliwonga, and Sinom Solo. The winner there is Musa Keys. You already know with the drip, Musa Keys is always, nice with it. New artist, I think that's new artist of the year. We had Kokasa, Alfadada, Group Chat, Mayton, and TT. And then we have Best Male Artist, and the nominees were a.k.a. KO, Kabza the Smalls, Java, and Mtandazo Gacha. I thought, that was deserving to give it to AKA. Rest in peace to the legacy. He truly deserves that for the album that he released, which is Mass Country. Best Kwaito Gom song. First of all, I have a little bit of a problem with this category. I don't understand why we had to put Kwaito and Gom in one category. I don't feel like those are the same thing. But it is what it is. I'm not here to bash the awards. I'm just here to appreciate all of the people who are nominated and winning. And that went to DJ Tira with Skilledy. The nominees were DJ Tira, Big Nas, Questa with Kabza the Small, Spikiri, and Professor. And DJ Tira took that one. Best House Song, we had Psych Wanda nominated, Kosasa, Argento Dust and Zex Bantwini, Asanda, Tandazo Gacha featuring no Nhlonipho, Sizoba Vamba, Umtandazo, Cairo featuring Pixie L, Lwandile, and the winner there is Sky Wanda with Amazwi. That's Best House Song. And then we got to Best Hip Hop Artist. Nominees were AKA, KO, Nasty C, Blackie, and Maglera Doughboy. And the winner there went to AKA for Mass Country again. Again, congratulations to AKA for that. Best Gospel Album, we had Pastor Lungindala, Dumim Kongstad, Soweto Gospel Choir, Kayam Tetra, and King D Music. And the winner went to Pastor Lungindala with Victorious Praise. And then Best Female Artist, the nominees were Makadzi, Nomfundo Mo, Simi, Brenda Mtambo, and Hle. And then the award actually went to Makadzi for African Queen 2.0. And then we have the Best Group or Duo. We have Nkabi Nation with Voicemail, Mafiki Zolo, Big Nas, Melo and Sleazy, Quest and Kabza the Smalls. And the winner was Nkabi Nation with Voicemail. Best Collaboration Song, we had AKA featuring Nasty C. We had KO featuring Youngstana. We had Amos featuring Amifaku. And Java featuring Twins and Mzugulu. Personally, I felt like Sethe deserved to actually win this award. But again, the award was given to AKA featuring Nasty C with Lemons. I felt like KO, Youngstan, and Blackie, was a deserved a best collaboration song, if not song of the year. We'll see who won song of the year. Best Jazz Album, we had Nduduzo Makatini, Linda Kakane, and Spads. And Nduduzo Makatini actually won that. And then Artist of the Year, the nominees were AKA, KO, Wanitwa Mus, Nomfundo Mo, and Java. And that went to AKA again for Artist of the Year. No problem with that. Best Amapiano Song, the nominees were Deep London with Hamba Wena, Gaba Kanal, Hila Nhlizio Yam, Kabza the Small, Kusela, Daliwonga Abomvelo, Wanitwa Mus, Sofa Silahlane. And the winner went to Deep London with Hamba Wena. Best Afro Soul Pop, we had Zuko SA, we had Java, we had Brenda Mtambo, Nkabi Nation, and Lindo the vocalist, and then Zuko SA took that one. Personally, I felt like that Java deserved that one with Isbuko, as that was a complete full album. And then Song of the Year, a very, very controversial one. The nominees were Basba Betusi Lemtinga, Ngena Noah, KO Sete, aka Lemons, Konken Musaki, Kancane, Aimos, Fatela, Big Nas Ngeke, Kabza the Small, Kusela, Gaba Kanal, Hilanti Zoyams, Java Isoka, Wanita Mus, Sofa Slahlane. I truly believe that KO actually really deserved this. I don't know if these awards are people voting and people didn't really vote for KO song Sete. I don't even feel like KO won actually any award. I feel like KO released one of the best songs out of these songs that here. Not saying that she doesn't deserve it, but Tusile Mlinga, I don't know who she is. If people really did vote for her, congratulations to her. But that's one award I felt like Mr. KO should have won it. And that's basically our reaction to the Metro FM Music Awards. We appreciate them coming back and actually appreciating and giving these musicians their flowers, and everybody else who is working on the production. Congratulations on that. And we really appreciate you guys putting South African music forward. Cool. On What's the Hustle this week, we're going to be talking about construction as a hustle. The three levels of construction. If you're talking about the small construction where you are, in your communities, helping build, people building walls, people building small things, making sure that you're getting into construction. It needs a skill for you to be able, to construct, to be able to build, and without me saying a lot and feeling like I know a lot about construction, I have a clip for you that I'm going to play of this lady. If you can follow this lady on YouTube, she's really, really clued up when it comes to construction, and you can learn a thing or two if you're into construction.
So going back to the grades, so grade would be grade 1 to 9. I think it starts at about 200,000 to about 130 million and then above. And then with the class, it will be the different classes. So what are the different classes? What do they mean? I remember when I started off in construction, I used to see, like, you'll find people saying grade 9 GE MM, and you're just like, what the hell is all of that? And like, no one actually takes the time to say, this is what it means and all of that. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. And you're just like, yo, will I ever get to a point where now I've got all of these capital letters that kind of mean that I'm a better contractor than others? You do. It's not that great. Like, it's not like a certification that you got because I've worked so hard. It basically says, when you are going onto the CIDB website in order to get graded, right? So let me make an example. So an SOE will probably say, okay, this is what they need. This is the job. This is the capacity of the job. The person that does this job has to be able to afford this amount of money or work around a project with this amount of money. That person would have to be skilled to this level, and this job will comprise of different areas of specialties. So you'll find people that specialize in electric, people that specialize in just the general building, people that specialize in the water and the plumbing, so basically
Right there, very, very beautiful, thorough information. Please make sure I'll leave her details of your YouTube page below. Please make sure that you go and engage with her content as she speaks about beautiful content when it comes to construction. And then on our Kasi superhero, today we have Portia Modise. Portia Modise is a Banyana legend, one of the females who, has created a legendary status in South Africa when it comes to football. One of the first females to show us that she can be at the highest levels, or females can be in the highest levels of football, with what she did for Banyana. Portia Modise has been, one of those people who opened the gates to a lot of females to be in the sports of football in South Africa. And today we just wanted to take our head off and appreciate Portia Modise for everything, and then just play a little bit of a clip so that you can appreciate her more.
12 in London, you've won Sportswoman of the Year, you've played overseas. What is the highlight? I mean, how do you pick one?
I think my highlight is for being the sports star of the year. It was never something that I thought of, especially women's football is not on map because we don't even have a professional league or semi-professional league. So I never really thought for a woman to be a sports star of the year. So this was the great moment for me.
Now, Portia, you have scored over 100 international goals. You've even put some men...
For sure, that's Portia Modise right there. One of the beautiful strikers of South Africa. As you have had, so many records that she has broken, so many doors that she has opened for a lot of females to get into the sports of football. And we just wanted to appreciate Portia Modise and say, keep on doing what you're doing. There's a lot of work that she's doing now, coaching young girls and doing all of this, workshops where she's teaching girls about the sports of football. Not only just that, but how to take care of yourself and finances. So I appreciate you for still being legendary and doing such great work. And that's Portia Modise right there. And that's gonna be it for the Village Show today. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for showing us the love. And lately, I've seen the growth of the show. You guys are loving the show. Tell us where we can improve. Tell us more topics that you want us to talk about. Tell us more people you want us to appreciate. Tell us more hustles that you want us to talk about. As you can see, this is not just a typical podcast. This is not just a typical show. This is a very, very well thought out, nice to the angle show that gives you, both the best of both worlds, as me, Chak the Sound Sangoma, and all of the villages and everybody. I'm wishing you a very, very beautiful week ahead, and I hope you guys are going to have a wonderful week, whether you're at work or you're working for yourself, whatever hustle you're under. I'm giving you all the praises and sending you all the energies. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for engaging with us on all of our social media platforms. And from me and the Village Show and Chitangani Productions, we appreciate you and see you next time. Peace.